Our family is just finishing up a 31-day no sugar challenge. You think I'm crazy? Wonder why we're doing it? Well, stay tuned and I'm going to share with you why we did a 31-day no sugar challenge. So why did we give sugar up? Well, let me share with you this. As I've shared in previous videos, we really work hard on trying to teach our children growth mindset versus fixed mindset. As you've probably seen in my previous videos, and if you haven't seen them, I'll link them below for you. Growth mindset is really the ability of understanding that you can achieve any goal or any skill by just working really hard at it. Fixed mindset is really the thought process that you're born with this innate ability to be the best and you don't really have to work at it. And honestly, I think there's such an epidemic in our society with our children. I'm not sure if this resonates with you, but with my children often, if it takes a lot of effort, they don't want to do it, or they're convinced that they'll never be really great at it. And that is such a bummer because you and I both know that one of the best feelings in the world is achieving something that you have worked so hard at. So we were trying to come up with a way that we could both do something as a family and have that team building environment, but also help our children to feel that feeling of working really hard towards something and having a result at the end. So what we came up with was family challenges. Now we only do them twice a year. They don't have to be really intense. We don't have to do them all the time. But what we did was we decided that for the month of August, we would give up sugar. Now, it's undeniable that giving sugar up is a great health benefit. So that was definitely a caveat to it. And any of you that have done Whole30 or Paleo, you know that feeling. It can be very challenging, especially when you're in environments like birthday parties or social events where you have to choose between sticking with your goal or giving in. So it was kind of a lofty challenge. But we just really felt like that was something that we could all really identify with together and use it for a greater whole. So that is actually why we chose that to be our first challenge. I think there are many things you can do if you're looking at this video and you're kind of contemplating it. You could have a water challenge, you could have an electronics challenge, anything. Maybe your family likes potato chips and you're going to get potato chips up. Whatever that is, I think it's just something that you do together and it's a goal you work towards. So today I want to share with you a little bit more about how we structured that challenge and kind of how it went, because it was just really a fun experience. And we're really actually 2 days away from finishing. And I think as a whole, our whole family has done really well with it. So in identifying our challenge and deciding how our challenge was going to be structured, the first thing that we thought about was what is something that we could give up that would be not extremely easy, maybe a little bit of challenging, because of course when we're teaching our children growth mindset, we want it to be something they have to work towards, but also something that would have a benefit to it. And here's what I mean by a benefit to it. I think that when you take something away in life, it's sometimes good to replace it, especially when we're talking about habits. So for this challenge, giving sugar up, it wasn't supposed to be a negative thing where it's like, well, now you just can't have sugar. We set our parameters. So for us, because it wasn't a health-related reason why we created this challenge, we didn't have to count every gram of sugar in every single thing. What we did was we took processed sugars out. And we did decide that we would allow honey in as a sweetener with a lot of the paleo, different dessert recipes and such things. Because I didn't want my children to think that they couldn't have anything. It's just that we want to really hone in on giving those processed sugars up. So that did mean that we weren't having birthday cakes at parties or soda, or going to the store and getting donuts and ice cream. Those things were going to be gone. So to replace those habits, we decided to really add some fun to our challenge. So what we did with our children is we sat down as a family and we looked recipes up. We found an amazing paleo ice cream recipe that did have honey as a sweetener, but was something that my children could actually make with me, and eventually they made it by themselves. And so we also found cookies and just various recipes that my children were excited about. And so we replaced habits like eating sugar and the different treats with cooking together and being creative. And so it was kind of a neat challenge. And in the end, what I found is that my children loved dehydrated apple chips and the paleo ice cream. My son learned that he really liked to cook and bake. So we had a lot of really amazing family moments that might not have happened if we hadn't had this challenge. And were there rough days? Absolutely. There were days that even myself, I was wanting my chocolate candy bar, or, the kids had challenging moments where we had birthday parties and they had to realize that they weren't going to go there and eat the cake. But boy, did they feel good after they realized that they could achieve something that they had to really use that willpower for. And one way that we kept our family motivated, and I want to share this with you, such a simple thing, but really worked well. I'm going to show you my poster. So my daughter actually helped make this, as you can see. I'm going to hold it up there. We just printed a calendar like this. And on this calendar, each day that we completed our challenge, we all just drew our little smiley face. You can kind of see the different characters. I'll hold that up there. My husband had some scruffy face there, and we just kind of had some fun. There were a few days on there where the kids had some frowny faces, and that's okay, because anytime that we're working towards a challenge, it doesn't mean it's always easy. And so this allowed them that ability to put their emotions on paper, and we just had a quick check-in every night before bed. How did you feel today? There were days that my children, especially towards the end, have said to me, man, I'm sleeping so much better, or I'm so proud of myself. I can't believe I've gone 27 days without eating a lot of sugar and processed foods. It was pretty amazing to see that. Now, the first couple weeks, they were challenging. The children were detoxing. I was detoxing. There were some frowny faces. When we did our check-ins, a lot of times the conversation was, ugh, this is going to be a long month. But the attitude changed as we progressed. And that is all about developing growth mindset and realizing you can do something. So this is something very simple. If you want to look at doing a family challenge in your house, you just simply need to decide what your parameters are. What are you giving up, or what are you adding? How can you cultivate the environment and bring new behaviors in? And make it fun, because everything with children is about the presentation. It's about being fun. And certainly this challenge, we really had a great time with it. It brought us all together. It was a common denominator for us. When one person was feeling frustrated, anybody in the family could say, hey, it's okay, we're almost there. And so it's just kind of a fun way to develop that behavior within our children and even within ourselves, and to do something as a team. So there you have it. That is why our family did a 1-month no sugar challenge. I hope that this video will inspire you to consider doing some sort of growth mindset family challenge in your home. No matter how old your children are, there are always great opportunities to have team building activities like this that show our children that it is worth the trial and error to achieve different goals in life. As always, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and follow me in my unconventional parenting journey. And if you decide to do a challenge in your family, please come back and leave me a comment and tell me about what you're doing and how it worked out for you.